The Devil Conditions Him, the Jason Dalton shootings. Imagine a world where the mundane act of hailing a ride could lead to unimaginable terror, where the digital convenience of an app unlocks a gateway to darkness. This is the story of Jason Dalton, a man who turned an ordinary Saturday into a nightmare. Give a like and subscribe, leave a comment. Jason Dalton was 48 years old when he committed a series of horrific shootings. The date was February 20th, 2016, and the location was Kalamazoo County, Michigan. This quiet Midwestern community was about to be shattered. Dalton confessed to shooting 8 people across 3 separate locations. His motive, as he claimed, was rooted in a bizarre delusion. He attributed his actions to a devil figure that appeared on the Uber app. In the days leading up to the massacre, Dalton visited 3 different gun stores with a friend. He purchased a black jacket specifically designed with concealed handgun pockets. This seemingly innocuous act was a chilling precursor to the horror that was about to unfold. The gun store owner described Dalton as being in good spirits. However, his friend noted that he was more quiet than normal. These subtle shifts in behavior were early warning signs, tragically overlooked. On the day of the shootings, Dalton picked up a passenger named Mellen. Mellen immediately noticed Dalton's erratic driving. He drove erratically, ignoring Mellen's pleas to slow down. He even sideswiped another vehicle. Terrified, Mellen jumped out of the car and called 911. He reported Dalton's vehicle details and the dangerous situation. Tragically, multiple calls to 911 were ignored before the shootings took place, a critical failure in the system. The first shooting occurred at an apartment complex in Richland Township. A woman was shot 4 times in the parking lot. Miraculously, she survived by playing dead, a testament to her will to live. Dalton's Uber request was botched due to an address correction. This seemingly minor error may have altered the course of events. It's a chilling reminder of how chance can play a role in tragedy. The next shooting took place at a Kia dealership. 2 men, Tyler and Richard Smith, were fatally shot. Their lives were cut short in a senseless act of violence. The final and most devastating shooting occurred at a Cracker Barrel restaurant. 4 women, Mary Jo Nye, Mary Lou Nye, Dorothy Brown, and Barbara Hawthorne, were killed. 1 woman, Abigail Kopf, was critically injured. Police quickly realized they were dealing with a mobile active shooter. The gunman was driving a dark-colored Chevrolet HHR. The race was on to stop him before he could claim more victims. Despite the ongoing manhunt, Dalton continued accepting Uber fares. He was brazenly driving around with passengers while being actively sought by law enforcement. This detail is particularly disturbing. Passengers even asked Dalton if he was the shooter. He denied it, maintaining a facade of normalcy. This chilling interaction highlights the unsettling disconnect between his actions and his demeanor. Eventually, Dalton was stopped by police during a traffic stop. He was arrested without incident. The nightmare was finally coming to an end. At the time of his arrest, Dalton was wearing the purchased jacket and a bulletproof vest. A handgun was also found in his possession. These items painted a clear picture of his premeditation. Police determined that none of the victims were connected to each other or to Dalton. The shootings appeared to be random acts of violence. This lack of motive made the tragedy even more difficult to comprehend. Dalton confessed to the shootings, but his explanation was bizarre. He blamed the Uber app and a devil figure for his actions. This claim raised questions about his mental state. Dalton had no prior criminal history or documented mental health issues. He was, by all accounts, an ordinary man. This made his descent into violence all the more shocking. Initially, Dalton pleaded not guilty to the charges against him. However, he later changed his plea to guilty on all counts. This decision spared the victims' families from a lengthy and painful trial. In February 2019, Dalton was sentenced to life in prison without parole. He will spend the rest of his days behind bars, paying for his heinous crimes. Justice was served, but the scars remain. Uber expressed horror at the events and offered assistance to law enforcement. The company faced scrutiny over its background check procedures and safety protocols. The incident raised serious questions about the responsibility of ride-sharing services. President Obama praised law enforcement for their swift response and pledged federal support to the community. The nation mourned the loss of innocent lives. the tragedy sparked a national conversation about gun violence. The shootings also highlighted the need for improved emergency alert systems. Calls were made for a more effective way to warn the public about active shooter situations. Time is of the essence in these situations. In response to the tragedy, Michigan approved legislation for a statewide warning system. This system aims to provide timely alerts to residents during emergencies. A step in the right direction, but more needs to be done. The Jason Dalton shootings serve as a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the potential for darkness to lurk beneath the surface of the ordinary. It's a case that continues to haunt us, raising questions about mental health, gun violence, and the role of technology in our lives. If you found this analysis insightful, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for more in-depth true crime investigations. Share this video with your friends and family to raise awareness about the complexities of these cases. Leave a comment below with your thoughts on the Jason Dalton shootings and what lessons we can learn from this tragedy. Your engagement helps us to continue providing valuable content and fostering important conversations.